Okay, given data, and this time we have data for like the quantity and the cost are different than the quantity and the price here. So I've got empty cells in here, but Excel will ignore the empty cells. So let me bring this data in and then graph it. Let me move this out of the way. It looks like everything is being interpreted correctly. It's picked up the names of the data series. I do want to let me make this smaller. Let me adjust my view, see if that helps. There we go. So a right click, format the data series, put in a secondary axis. Just makes it more understandable that this demand price is going from 88 to 102, and the cost is going from 480 to 600. Okay, with those highlighted, let's put in a trend line. Linear, yes. Find the linear functions that best fit. Display the equation on the chart. And then do the same for the add a chart element, trend line, linear, and display the equation on the chart. And because I only had 2 points for each, and because the points were nice round integer numbers, then I'm getting nice even whole number coefficients in my equations. Okay, now which one was which? This was the cost trend line. Let me move that up here. And this one is the demand trend line. Okay, so identify the fixed costs. On mine, it looks like it's 460. And the variable cost is $8 per unit. Find the revenue and the profit functions. Let me bring in some paper here. So revenue is going to be price times quantity, but price is this function, negative x plus 110. So negative, swap out the x for a q, plus 110. That's the price, and then times by quantity. You could distribute this through. It's negative q squared plus 110q for the revenue function. Arrow out of that, plus 110q. There we go. And now for profit. Profit is revenue take away cost. I just built my revenue function, negative q squared plus 110q. Take away my cost function is this one, 8x or 8q plus 460. So simplifying this, I'll have profit is negative q squared plus 110q. Distribute the negative through and then combine similar terms. Negative q squared plus 102q minus 460. Okay, now after having done all of that, I do feel like I should tell you that WebWork can read the math. So I can put in the profit function in this unsimplified form. I could also put in the revenue function in this unsimplified form. I'm just preferring to simplify it down for this walkthrough. So negative q squared plus 102q minus 460. Okay. Evaluate each of those at 40 units. Make a chart. Quantity is 40 units. The cost function was 8x. So 8 times the quantity plus 460. The price is negative quantity plus 110. The revenue is price times quantity. And the profit is revenue takeaway cost. We'll fill in those values. And then to find the break-even points happen when this profit has a value of 0. And there might be 2 of them. So I want to get a feel for where those could happen. I'll just do 10, 20, 30, 40 again. And copy down my formulas. And see how I never find a negative value? So now I want to graph. Select the quantity column, hold down the control key, select the profit column, and then get a graph of that profit function. So my first break-even point, if I extend this graph, you can imagine it coming down over here. So probably less than 10 is where that first point happens. And then over here. So I don't have enough data. So let me go back to my values up here. Where'd they go? There they are. Okay, so I'm going to take my data and select a couple of rows, hold down, click and drag to select a few rows, and then with those rows selected, if you do a right click, you can insert. This will insert values between the 10 and the 40. So I think I'll do 0, 5, and 7. And then I can take my formulas and copy them up. Okay, so here I have between 0 and 5, the profit goes from negative to positive. So let me do a goal seek. Take that profit value, set it to 0 by changing corresponding number of units. 4.729 should be my first break-even point. Then for my second break-even point, I need more data down here. Copy my formulas down. There we go. So it changed, the profit switched from positive to negative between 90 and 100. So I'll take this one, do another goal seek. 97.27.